So guys, how was your week? How was the week of Donald Trump? Okay, so first and foremost, we have a new US president, and that is Donald J. Trump. Okay. And the market reacted super well. Super well. Honestly, I think that the market will have reacted almost similarly if Kamala wins. Okay. But it is Donald Trump, right? So that is the first thing. And yesterday, we had our first or don't say first second last FOMC,
Mm.
right? So do y'all know how much the interest rate is being cut? No? I hope that y'all are aware, right? Because yesterday, some of you are wondering, hey Pete, why the market only reacted like so little bit? Right? Because the cut was a little bit. Right? The round before this, yes, was 0.5%. But this round we have 0.25 only. Okay. So tonight there's gonna be a lot of things that we need to run through. Okay. So a lot of things to share. I don't know how long we will run until. Maybe we can run until the market open. Okay, I don't know. Right? Okay. But as usual, tonight with me, I will bring on Ethan. Okay, because he is the interest rate expert. Okay, so what I'll do is this: I'll first go through my analysis on the on Trump, right, on the presidential election and stuff. Okay, and then later on, I'll bring on Ethan to talk about interest rate so that we can have collective understanding and in understanding the market. Okay? All right, so let's do that. Okay. Hey, let's see. Can I bring this down? Okay. All right. So anyway, along the way, you have questions, you can ask also. Okay. All right. All right. Can y'all see? Okay, may I shift it lower? Okay. Okay. All right. So yesterday, after we, not yesterday, on the 6th, actually, yeah, it's yesterday, right? Yeah. Yesterday, after Donald Trump won, right? Wow. We had this, although this is not the real screen on his plane, by the way. In case you're wondering, okay, this is not the real screen, okay? Right? But this is the man, okay, Donald Trump. You like it or not, he's the new president already. Okay? Now, but one thing that I want all of you to take note is that actually, most of the time, whenever there's a presidential election, most of the time, okay, the stock market 1 year later, right, does go up one. Okay, only a few. For example, Nixon, because he had a lot of issues. Carter also had some issues. Then Reagan, because he second term, then he made money. Okay, but otherwise, most of them make money. Even Donald Trump made 28%. Right, Biden, I think that year he also made about 10+%. Right, so generally, presidential election are good for the immediate next year. Okay, not every year, but immediate next year you'll be good. But one thing that kind of concerns me a bit right now is the Trump tariff. Okay, have you all heard about Trump throwing a tariff? Okay. Yeah, so he's going to step on a lot of tax on imported goods on China. That's why on the very first day, okay, when it happened, we saw the market just boom, the China market. All your Chinese ETF just went to south, even though the rest of the world was like, whoosh. Okay, right? But in general, I'm a bit fearful of this, not because China is being punished, right? I don't have much China's investment, but one thing that I know is that when you slap tariff, when you slap tax, hey guys, what's gonna happen? What if let's say the government, the US government, step on a lot of tax on imports into US? What's gonna happen? How does it affect us as investors? Very good, right? PSD is asking inflation. Okay? If they're gonna increase the rate like this, what we'll see is a lot of inflation. And what happens when there's inflation? Dun, dun, dun. This one Ethan will get very excited later. Right? Jerome Powell's plan basically goes into the toilet bowl. Right? Jerome Powell has to just press the flush button, just flush away all the plans. I honestly think right after election, why is it 0.25% and not 50 basis point is exactly because Trump won. Everybody in general expected 50% basis point, but it came out 25 basis point. I suspect it's because Trump. Okay? Right? So that's one thing. Now, and this is the percentage returns of the administration based on, let's say, who is the president and whether government is a Democrat government or is it a divided government. So interestingly, what you can see is that actually a divided government does pretty well. Right? A divided government does pretty well. Right now, where are we? We are actually a Republican president and a Republican Congress at this moment in time. So we will expect pretty good returns, lah. Okay? But having said that, the return here is not going to be throughout. It's an average. That means some sectors good, some sectors not so good. Okay? So which are the good sectors? Okay, so I put over here, these are the Trump positive. Number one, US dollars will be good. Okay, US dollars is definitely good. Why? Because when Trump comes in, he's like, hey, guys, we need to strengthen the dollar. We need to show people our, okay. So this is what he'll be doing. And in fact, US dollar has been going down and Trump was very against it. So I highly suspect that he's going to do something about it. Okay. Number one. Number two is this. Bitcoin seems to be going very well, right? Because we all know Trump as a very big Bitcoin investor. Plus, one more thing is this. Why is Bitcoin going to increase from a supply and demand angle? I don't know whether you got follow Trump policy. He mentioned one thing, that when he's the president, he's going to create this special reserve. Right? Now, we all know that in US, there's this thing called the Strategic Dollar Reserve, the SDR. But he's going to create the SBR. Yes, okay? SBR. What's SBR? Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. He's going to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. That means the US government will start collecting Bitcoin. So when they collect Bitcoin, what happens? The demand increase. But at the same time, when they collect Bitcoin, they also reduce the supply. Okay? All right, so that's number two. Number three, banks. I think financials generally going to do really well. Why? Because Donald Trump is very good for deregulation. Regulation. Okay? He's going to deregulate the banks, allowing the banks to be more free flow in borrowing, lending, all sorts of activity. Okay, so banks is also one area to look at. In fact, if you look at later on, we look at the trading view, you know that very moment when Trump was elected, right, the financial ETF went up like more than 10%. That's how positive it is. Okay, now the other sector is actually oil and gas. Oil and gas is actually one segment that Donald Trump has been very bullish on because he knows that US is currently one of the largest reserve of oil and gas in the world. And if they properly tap on oil and gas, it's going to provide a lot of what? What is Trump all about? It's all about jobs. Yeah, Trump said drill baby drill, right? When they drill baby drill, they will have jobs baby jobs. Okay? So he wants that because he knows that oil and gas is a very manpower intensive industry. Okay? Now the other one is every defense. Trump has been saying over and over again that the US defense side has not been relevant, has not kept up to date, everything not to the spec. In fact, he wants to spend less in Ukraine. He wants to spend more in national defense. So I do expect defense industry to do pretty well here. Okay? Now, another one is this. Large cap versus small cap. I do expect small cap to do a bit better in the coming years also. Simply because interest rate is likely going to start coming down. Okay? Lower interest rate means what? Small caps with debt, they are likely going to do a bit better. Okay, so these are the Trump positive, right? Don't worry, later on I'll share these slides with you all if you all need be. Okay, but negative. Okay, let's come to negative. Got negative one. Number one is gold bar. Okay, I will say gold bar and bond is the same category. Why? With Trump, the impetus for people to go into the equity market, to the real estate market, will be much better. So a lot of money will shift to other assets, causing the gold and the bond price to drop. In fact, you would have seen the moment Trump was elected, the bond yield went up. Even though we know the interest rate is coming down. Actually, don't make sense, right? Bond yield, by right, if interest rate go up, interest rate go down, bond yield should go down. But after the Trump was elected, bond yield actually went up. Why? Because people were dumping bonds. They were throwing away bonds. Okay, so going forward, I do think these two asset class might have a bit of pressure. Okay, I know that earlier on I said that Trump was good for stock market, but there's always two sides of the coin. Why this part I put in the stock market, right, is because stock market earnings can be affected by the tariff quite significantly if it translates down to cost. Okay, if the businesses are not able to send the cost down to the customers, that means increase prices, right? And I tell you, Trump hate people when they increase price. So likely what they will do is they have to eat in their own profit margin. Okay, and the last one is to me is green energy. Green energy is going to suffer quite a bit under Trump. Trump is very against green energy. I highly suspect what he will do is he will take all the green energy money and throw into the oil and gas, right? Because he said green energy is good, but it should not be a total shift towards green. He believes in the energy mix. Okay, so great, right? So this is the the negative part of the full picture. All right, now in general, I would say overall, if you look at the S&P performance after election and even after Trump debate, right, you can see which are the sector that's doing better already. For example, right, energy is doing better, materials, industrial, all doing better, right? Healthcare not very good. Why? Because Trump hates Medicare, Medicaid, right? He's gonna penalize them. Okay, right? Financials, woof. Okay. All right. Real estate, I don't know for some reason it's not doing well, lah. But I do expect real estate with the lower interest rate to start coming up as well. Okay. So these are all the industries that is going to likely to benefit. If you look at another graph, it looks like this. Right? These are your main guys that's likely going to benefit. Financials, energy, industrial, material. Right? So your defense actually fall under here. Your military falls under industrial. Okay. So this is the Trump trade if you want to trade on the broader basis. But I would strongly encourage everybody to just trade the broader trade, but also right now, when the market is so volatile, look for good companies, look for good opportunities. Okay. Later on, I'll share with you one good opportunity, one good company, okay, that I think worth looking at. Okay. But for now, I'm going to pass it to the best man to talk about the next topic, which is actually by this gentleman. Right? I think when Donald Trump won, this was his exact expression. Okay. Hey, you know who is this? I know the picture a bit grainy, but do you know who is this? Okay. Right. Yes, this is Jerome Powell. Okay. So now let me bring on Ethan. Okay. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, my friend.
Hello,
Okay.
hello,
How was yesterday,
hello.
man?
How are you doing? What an exciting week, man. So many things happen. Jerome Powell, the election and Singapore monetary policy. So we've
Hmm.
got so much to talk about today. I'm quite excited. How's everybody doing? How's everyone feeling about the market? Do you think we are looking at a 0.25 cut, or are we not gonna do anything next month? There's quite a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And today we are going to have the pleasure of breaking everything down for you guys.
Exactly, exactly. So just for context, once again, everybody, yesterday what we have was the Federal Reserve cut the interest rate by 0.25%. So previously they already cut their first time by 0.5. So now we are already 0.75% down, right?
Mm.
Almost 1%. So if Jerome Powell is going to carry through the promise, we might see this year we have a full 100 basis point cut possible. Okay, so I'll let Ethan bring us through on what is happening on the interest rate front. But more importantly, I know a lot of you here are looking at not just in the US market, but also in the Singapore market, especially in the property world, right? So we will also touch on the local interest rate, what is happening at the banks front. I'm super excited to find out also because one of my other property is going to due for refinancing soon. So I want to know what is the interest rate and how much money I can save from there. Oh, okay. Right. Let Ian let Ethan bring us through.
Wonderful. So let me share my screen over here. Give me a moment. Coming over here. Are you guys able to see my screen? Okay, wonderful. So guys, today we're gonna talk about the FOMC update. Today, the first portion of my conversation with you guys will be the economic update. What has happened in the economy? I want to give you guys a quick update. First things first, the election, okay? We got a red wave where Donald Trump won. He's a Republican. We can see the US House has already been won by the Republican side, quite close, 211 as compared to their target of 218. And also for the US Senate, we've already got 53 Republicans inside. So Republicans actually control the entire House this time, which means the the policies that are submitted by Donald J. Trump, right, usually would be more susceptible to being approved lah when everybody is own self people, everybody is Republican. The next portion is I want to talk about the monetary policy, what happened during the conversation. And I think all of you all have seen Pete's picture at where where Jerome Powell said the whole plan of avoiding stagflation is not to have any stagflation. So what happened in the US monetary policy? They reduced their interest rate by 0.25%. So this is quite on track onto what we expect to happen. Maybe the next round we expect it to come down by another 0.25 because the summary of economic projections actually projected for a total of 0.5% decrease further from last 0.5% decrease. So next thing is why is this important in terms of understanding our Singapore interest rate? Because Singapore do not control interest rate, and we have typically been below US interest rate. Later, I got something exciting for us about that. But the federal funds rate almost directly affect the SORA rate because it controls most of the world's money. So over the last 19 years, there has been a 95% correlation there about. And because of that, we are able to quite accurately predict where SORA is likely to go, which then help you guys choose between fixed or floating rate. And just now I was telling you guys that there has been a change in the monetary policy. In fact, there has been no change in the monetary policy, which is amazing. Here is why. Remember, we always follow the US. Everybody has already reduced interest rate. You see, UK, you see England, you see US, everybody is cutting rate except for Singapore and Japan. At this point in time, Singapore is not choosing to cut any rate. MAS maintain the rate of appreciation, which means that Singapore dollar is looking to go higher. And with no change to the width or level which it was centered, which actually means they are looking at still appreciating the Singapore dollar. All right. So what happens over here, right? You need to understand that the way that SORA is affected is based on the US monetary policy multiplied by the Singapore monetary policy, which then gives us a good estimate on where the SORA rates are going to be. So at this point of time, when we saw the US cut interest rate, SORA dropped very drastically, and now it is stabilized around 3% and is looking to go down further. And at this point of time, right, you can see that the banks are actually talking within themselves to be able to lower the fixed rate, to be able to be more competitive, to be able to bring you guys on board. So we can see that interest rates for fixed rates are going to be competitive for November and December. Right now, roughly $1 million, we can get about 2.5, perhaps 2.45%. So in FOMC, what happened in the September FOMC? We expected it to come down 4.4 by the end of this year, which means another 0.25% cut in place. So that is what we are expecting. The economic indicators, not much change. There's not a lot of updates to this. However, everything is still moving towards the 2% goal as indicated. So my thoughts about this are at this point in time, I'm very happy that there has been a great decisive victory for the Republicans. And I think that Donald Trump would be better to talk to people like Xi Jinping and what you call this?
Putin.
Yeah, Putin. So I believe at this point of time, it is a more strategic play lah. I mentioned to Pete, I actually like Kamala Harris quite a bit. However, I think she come at a very unfortunate time lah. That being said, right, what I expect Donald Trump to do, right, is to then step on the tariffs. And when they slap on the tariffs, right, sometimes, right, this kind of tariffs can last decades, which have very deep implications to the market lah. And because of that, I am quite fearful that the inflation is going to come back up again, which may then again come to the point where we talk about stagflation, which is quite dangerous because one of the speakers, they actually asked Nancy Marshall Genzer did ask Jerome Powell. So what do you expect to what do you plan to do if you start to see inflation stagflation? And as Pete said lah, Jerome Powell said the whole plan is not to have stagflation. That is his plan. So yeah lah, all of us are sitting and having our fingers crossed, which is also why I have decided to lower my certainty in terms of my projection. We'll talk about that later. All right, so Pete, back over to you.
All right, that is the interesting part. So there is going to likely be a tussle, right, between what I mentioned about Donald Trump and what Ethan said about Jerome Powell, whether he can achieve what he want to achieve. Now, I think earlier on some of you mentioned, can Donald Trump fire Jerome Powell? Okay, so guys, type in the chat. Do you think he can do it or not? Yes or no? Can Donald Trump actually unilaterally fire uh Jerome Powell? Okay, he can actually do it for like the other secretaries of the department secretaries like the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Finance. Like he can fire all of them. However, legally he cannot. I'm not saying he cannot through all means, but legally he cannot fire Jerome Powell because the Federal Reserve belongs to an independent arm, right? So theoretically cannot, but maybe through Trump's maneuvering he can. Okay,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the same tussle that we saw during Trump's legacy in the last election, last presidency, right, where he was at loggerheads with Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell was the person that he brought on. Actually, Donald Trump was the one who recommended Jerome Powell to come on and take this seat, but later on the two of them just turned on each other. Okay, so just something to share with you all. Okay, so later on I'm going to get Ethan talk about the mortgage rates, but right now I want to share about the markets right now. What do we see in the markets? Very quickly first. Okay, so right now, the market haven't opened yet. Okay, I keep thinking it's 9:30, but it's
1 hour more.
10:30.
Yeah,
Okay, so never mind.
daylight
Right, so
saving.
let's go through the markets right now. Okay. Right, so can you all see the S&P 500 chart? Okay, so this is the S&P 500 chart right now. Actually, right before the election, right, we were actually a very sweet spot, at the 50 moving average. Very, very nice sweet spot. Stochastic is great. RSI is quite low. MACD is great. So all these are pretty good. We saw a very nice pullback, but right now it has already escaped the stratosphere area. Okay, so I always say if you're a good investor, be patient, wait for the pullback. Okay, but the key thing is this: when it pull back, okay, you need to do something. Okay, there are some people who just wait, wait, wait. Then as they wait, they say, hey, this is the part they wanted to buy, but it went out already. So they say, I wait. Then it come down again. Never buy, right? So they wait again. Then, come down already. Drop so much. I very scared. I don't dare to buy, right? Then it go up again. Then they keep on waiting, because every time it go up, they think it's too high. But when it come down, they think they can go lower. Then I will say, oh my gosh, then how to help you? Okay. So I want to give you an example of one trade that I did with my community, which is the Stock Market Genius community. And I hope that this can help you all to shake off your, how to say, your fear of investing, or in fact, help you to build that confidence in investing. Okay. And this company, can you all see the company? Okay, if you can see the company, type the company ticker symbol. If you can see the company, type the company ticker symbol. Okay, very good. I know you all can see the slide, right? Okay, so yes, it's none other than Coinbase. Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, what does Coinbase do? Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange, right? Or broker, sometimes they call it. Okay, so what was this trade? So basically, I was looking at Coinbase and they had a very nice setup over here and they were breaking out of the 200 moving average. So to me, this is usually a very strong point. But another thing is this. I was trying to do a Trump trade. I was trying to bet that Trump will win, not directly betting on Trump, but indirectly through Coinbase. Because, like I said earlier on, Trump was very pro crypto. But another thing is, I knew that when Trump were to win, there's going to be a huge run in cryptocurrency. In fact, even if Kamala Harris wins, I don't think that there will be a collapse in cryptocurrency because she herself also came out talking about being a bit pro crypto, right? So, both presidency are pro crypto, right? Okay, so this seems like a very good entry point to me. So we entered this position called the synthetic. Okay, I don't know if have you all heard of synthetic before? You know what is synthetic or not? Okay, so basically synthetic is very simple. For those of you who follow me, synthetic is basically you are selling a put, taking the premium to pay for a buy call. That's about it. Okay, to pay for a buy call. So you can make money when the put decays away, where you can also make money when the call premium goes up, if the share price goes up. Right? Straightforward. If you don't understand this, don't worry, okay? You can come to our community, then there's videos to show you. But this is a very typical trade that we do in Stock Market Genius quite often. Okay? So let's play a game. This is when I enter. Okay? So guys, let me ask you. After Pete enters, okay, where do you think the price will go? So this is the first period. Okay, so this is period 2. Okay, y'all can type in the chat, up or down, okay, or sideways, I don't know. Okay, got question? Do me a favor, hold the question first. Later, after I play the game finish with y'all, then we answer question, okay? Right, so type in the chat, up or down. Okay, up or down, up or down. Wow, y'all have so much confidence in me, up, 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 okay, but some of y'all say down, okay. Those never buy one, y'all say down, right? Because y'all want to see other people lose money, right? Okay, so the answer is down. Okay, it actually went up a bit, then after that it came down, and this candle was so big, right? And that night, wow, almost cannot sleep. A lot of the community members keep texting in the community chat asking me, hey, what happened? What happened? What happened? Okay, so I want to let you all in on the one clue. For those of you who are on the Stock Market Genius community, right? After I enter already, right? Most of the time, I am quite anti clover leaf one. You know what's called anti clover leaf? You know what does anti clover leaf mean? What's a clover leaf? Clover leaf is what? Good luck, right? The 4-leaf clover. I'm anti there. Most of the time after I buy, yeah, like what Alicia said, I'm very unlucky. After I buy, the stock price will come down. Okay? But guys, the important thing is this. If you know this is a good trade, you invest here. Mindset, come down already, what should you do? What should you do? Type in the chat. Okay? Right? It's about scaling in your position. Right? So when it comes to investing, I got one straight up suggestion to all of you is that never treat your portfolio as one trade. A lot of time people ask me, hey Pete, I entered this one trade, didn't do well. I say, yeah, but overall, if you're going to enter the full position, will you do well? It depends on what you choose to buy, right? So for me, whenever I choose to invest, I don't invest in one option. To me, generally, I try to do 4 or 5. So I did one here, I did one here, okay? Then period 3, okay, let me ask you, now period 3, up or down? I see how many of y'all are anti-Pete. Yeah, then after Donald Trump went up, okay? Right? So guys, so what's the moral of the story is that if you have conviction, you know what you're buying, you know it's solid on, and you see the price come down, right? The right thing to do is not to run away. The right thing to do is to put in more wood to the fire. Okay? The market is giving you another chance to invest. Right? But having said that, how do you have that level of confidence is you must do a lot of research, you must do a lot of reading. Right? For me, I understand the crypto industry pretty well. I'm a very big Bitcoin bull. Okay. So that's my take. Right? And very happy to share that. Hey, pretty good. In fact, this was like the best trade last week. Okay. Right. And I think tonight I might take profit. See how. Okay. So this is how I want you all to look at the stock market, not just at the macro level or what industry to trade, is that look for certain businesses that you understand really well. If you understand really well, you build that conviction, right? Then actually you don't need a lot of ideas. Actually, look at Warren Buffett. His portfolio very big. You know how big is Warren Buffett portfolio? Like 600 billion. You know how many stocks he has? Less than 40. I mean, each thing he buy is a few $billion. So the way to really achieve wealth, right, is not to over diversify. Hear me correctly. I'm not saying that you should not diversify. The keyword here is don't overdo it. And when you have conviction, you see something that's really solid and there's an event coming up, like Coinbase, right? You can step on the pedal. Okay? You can step on the pedal. All right? So right now, why I'm thinking of selling is this. Previously, we were thinking that Donald Trump can be president. But now, The news released already. He is the president, right? Okay. So there's this saying in the market called buy the rumor, sell the news. So I buy the rumor of him possibly winning. But now he's already the news. That's why I want to take profit. Okay. So think about not just the entry, but when you want to exit. Another thing is I look at the fear and greed indicator right now. Right? The whole market is so greedy, you know. The whole market is so greedy. Right? Show of hands, how many of you made some money in the last 2 days? So long you are invested in the S&P 500, you made some money. Everybody think they are freaking God. Everybody think they are the best in investing now. This is where it's dangerous. Okay, this is when it's dangerous because when you think you cannot fail, that's when you will have a problem, right? So greed level is very high now. And when I look at the bullish indicator, the bullish indicator is quite high. Not just the bullishness went up from 39% to 41%, the bearishness went down by a whole 3%. Is a very big number. Is a very, very big number. Okay? So that's also one of the reasons why I'm thinking of taking some profit off my Coinbase. But in the long term, is Coinbase still a good business? Yes. Right? But is it smarter to take some profit every now and then? You are the judge for it. Okay? So what I want to say is just stay flexible. Okay? Right? Be flexible. Think about how you can invest, how you can trade. That's the most important thing. Right? You can invest long term, you can trade short term, you can do both. Okay? All right. And I hope this Coinbase example is useful for you guys on how to look at the macro trade. Okay. So do you learn something from this Coinbase example? Yes? Solid, okay. All right. So with that said, let me bring Ethan back. Okay. Let's talk about mortgage rates. I want to stretch your mind. You see how we swing between interest rate, stock market, interest rate, stock market. Okay. Hopefully you're not too crazy later on. But the important thing is later on, I got one more thing that I want to share with you. Is that I got one new stock that I want to share. I already shared with the SMG people, right? So those of you with SMG already know what stock it is. Right? Those spoil, I don't put the chat. Okay. Then for those of you who are hearing it for the first time, right? Later I'll share with you and you'll see how powerful that stock is. Okay, but for now, I want to talk about mortgage rates because actually I'm selfish. I want to know what's the current rates. Okay, so let me bring out Ethan. Okay, my
I'm
friend.
back. Hello. Hello. Okay. So right now, interest rate, right? They are starting to fall because of the cost of borrowing side of things. Let me share my slide 1 second. Come over here, share slide. There we go. Okay, so we are about to talk about the interest rates, what's happening and everything. First things first, everybody. We are able to borrow a lot more money. Okay, not a lot but decently more money as compared to we were able to borrow last time because first things first, the stress test rate is lowering. You can see the previous stress test is 4.75. Currently, right, the building under construction, the stress test dropped to 4%. And if you can look at the difference, the amount of property you can buy is actually about 200K more. So that being said, Pete, from there you roughly know there will be a little bit of upward pressure towards the real estate market because everyone got more liquidity. More liquidity means more demand, means higher prices. But then again, there are also other factors. So what we want to talk about today is what is the loan size today? What are the loan interest rates today? For our fixed rate, right? For lower cases, usually the interest rate slightly higher. Don't worry, eventually the rates are going to start to decrease. Best to talk to our team so that we are able to talk to you and understand your profile and maybe even use your profile to go and negotiate for slightly better rates for you So there is the fixed rate and there is the floating rate. Today, we want to then decide whether the fixed rate or the floating rate is better. If you're looking at what we do in Unbeatable, we do a little bit of comparison between the fixed rate versus the floating rate today. And then we give a little bit of advice to our clients and to be able to break down the numbers for them, specifically to be able to help them save money. So everybody, can I ask, right, out of today's rates, right, of 2.5% fixed or 3.7% float, which would you pick? Can you all type inside the group, inside the chat, fixed or float? Okay. Fixed rate. Okay. Fixed. Okay. Wonderful. So if you are choosing fixed rate, right? If you are looking at a overall view, right, you can see that the fixed rate indeed do save you quite a lot of money, about $23,000. However, if you want to break things down a little bit more, later we'll be able to show you what happens month by for year on year, because the rates are different for year one and year two because interest rates are looking to fall. Later we'll go into that. But first, let me introduce me and my company. We are Unbeatable Mortgage. We specialize in bank loans in Singapore. We work with 10 banks to be able to get you the best rates in Singapore. And over here, when you pay for your mortgage, what happens is when you're paying for your mortgage, you pay for interest and principal. So every time when you're paying for your mortgage, right, you're reducing your principal until 30 years or whichever loan tenure, your principal is no more, you have no more loan and you fully own the property, which is the most boring way to become a millionaire in Singapore. So, that being said, the disclaimer is that we're going to talk about a lot of forward-looking statements, and from there, we want to be able to be more data-driven. Okay, so here are my projections as per the FOMC September update. At this point of time, everything is still going towards the plan. Interest rates are looking to lower to 4.4%, and we'll see SORA dropping back below 3 to 2.83 when that happens. However, as said earlier, Singapore's monetary policy has adopted a more aggressive stance, which means that possibly SORA's rate may not come down as much, but should be somewhere around there lah. Okay. And just now when I mentioned to you guys, every year it drops. So you need to understand what's the difference between year one and year two. The reason why I do some calculations, and this kind of calculations is quite unique to each of our individual clients. In today's presentation, I'm not able to do every single case, but I'm going to use $1 million as an example. We are comparing 2.5% fixed as compared to floating rate of 2.91% on the first year. How we get 2.91? We take the average of 2.83 and 2.19. The average is 2.51, which comes up to this amount over here, 2.91. So on the first year, you actually save about $4,100. It's not a lot more than the fixed rate, not like what we saw just now, because what we saw just now was today's floating rate stretch along this entire period lah. However, if you were to break down right into average interest rate, right, you will see that the average interest rate you will get for this year is 2.51. You will see the average interest rate is 2.03 plus the 0.4 spread for both of them, right? So 2.51 plus 0.4, you get 2.91. 2.03 plus 0.4, you get 2.43 over here. Are you able to see? So year one, you'll be saving 4.1. Second year, you'll be paying 700 more. So together, net, you actually save $3,383 in terms of approximated savings lah. So that is what I want to be able to help most of our clients, and this is just on the rate calculation. In terms of our services in Unbeatable, right, we do talk about interest rates quite a lot. However, more importantly, when you want to do your property transaction, should you reprice, should you sell? When you are looking to sell, should you get a waiver of fees upon sale? Should you get a no lock-in plan? How do you want to do it? We actually do make sure that you pay the least amount of money for whatever transactions you're looking to do, LB exit or whatsoever lah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Ethan. And actually, guys, one of the key things that I want to share with you that I find Ethan's service really powerful, right, is that it is not just about finding the best rates. In fact, he makes it very simple for me because I just give him my information once and he send it to like, I don't know, 20 banks. Okay. Then, right. Hey guys, do you know that there's a lot of ways that you can get loan? It's not just through the major banks. There are also financial institutions that are not banks that you can borrow from. Okay, and they may have a better package for you sometimes, right?
Mm.
So do keep your eyes wide open, keep your mind open about different types of services. Okay, another thing that I find Ethan's service was really useful for me, right, is when he used a lot of his creative ideas, right, to help to structure my loans. Okay, so this part is a bit cannot go too deep one. I cannot go too deep in the public sphere. Okay, but for those of you who are interested, let's say you feel like, hey, Pete, I'm just a bit short of like an amount to get to my loan, right? What can I do? What else can I do to increase my loan tenure and whatnot, right? Ethan will be your best guy, lah. Okay, right? Don't worry, he won't ask you to do anything illegal, but he's very creative in the way that he can structure your loans. Okay, all right. So yeah, so hey, Ethan, for those who needs to apply to you if they want a consultation, can you flash the link again for them? And maybe we can put it
Okay.
in the chat.
One moment. Let me get the link.
Yeah. Okay. That I might have the link here also.
1 second.
Yeah. So for those of you, go and check. Most importantly, right, go and check your mortgage rates. If you are due for refinancing, right? Okay, that's where you can make a lot of savings. When I did my refinancing, I think I saved close to like $700 from one decision, right? And guys, when you save money from the refinancing, guys, can I ask you to do one thing? Can I do one thing? Please put the money into investing, okay? Right? To increase your chances of success, right? Not just your investment returning well, but you are also adding more to your investment, okay? All right. So let me just find the link for Ethan's one is over here. Okay. So I'm gonna put it in the chat over here. All
Thanks,
right.
Pete.
Okay. So guys, can you all see the link in the chat right now? Okay, so this is the link to apply to Ethan's consultation. Okay, so I'm just
Mm.
gonna show you guys very quickly so you all can see how it looks like now. It's a very simple chart actually, right? It's a very simple one. So all you need to do, okay, is over here, right? So you just put in your email, your name, and your contact number. Now, very importantly, your email and contact number, please input correctly, right? We do have two cases before where they say, hey, Ethan, hey Pete, Ethan never contact me. Then I say, oh, really? Is it something wrong? So, I like to do customer service recovery, right? So I'll ask Ethan, hey, my friend, what happened? You never contact the client. Then we realized, oh, the email and the contact number had an error. Okay, so please make sure you enter the email contact number correctly,
Mm.
and more importantly, let Ethan know what do you intend to do. Is it a new loan, refinancing, repricing, or even like a gear up? If you don't know what's a gear up, don't worry. Okay,
Mm.
or if you have other questions as well, please put it in the others. Right? Describe your situation briefly. Of course, Ethan and his team will get in touch
Mm.
with you to find out more. Right? So that if you need to get the best loan, they need more information from you, and then they will be able to help you from there. Okay. So this is how you can submit your application. Okay, so the link is in the chat right now. Okay. All right. So before we go to the next segment, guys, any questions about loans? Okay, so Rick is asking, do you do
Right.
commercial loans?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So
We
they do, they
actually
do.
do commercial and business banking loans.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. So if you need business and banking loans, they can help you as well. Right.
Mm.
Lynn is asking, does the concept applies to Malaysian? Do you do Malaysian banks?
I do not at this point in time. I have a outsourced person to help lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. And in fact, for all of you, I would strongly suggest, right, if you have not done anything to your loan before, I suspect
Mm.
it is high time that you
Yeah,
need to go and take a look at your loan. Definitely something can be optimized. Okay.
correct.
So yeah,
And by choosing the right rates, right, you actually save quite a few thousands of dollars lah. And what me and my team actually like to do is to actually try to help you all save as much as possible so that you all are able to go and invest and make more money lah. So
yep.
there's a two part of this entire thing which I am very happy to be a little part of lah. Thanks again for having me around, Pete.
No problem. Okay, so guys, this
Mm.
is the slide here. You can scan the QR code over here, or the link is here, rebrand.ly/unbeatable loans. Okay,
All right.
so And I think Ethan recently you added more people to your team, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Okay, so the
Okay, so he
ex-CFO.
can help more of you now because last time it was only him and a very small team. Now he got more help.
Yes, yes, correct. Now, our team is expanding. I am training one more person as we speak. At this point in time, we are really. I am very lucky to be able to have a very very strong team behind me. All of them, they've got very very strong background. This new person that just joined us, his name is Sham. He is an ex-CFO now to retire, but then keep his mind sharp. He decided to be a consultant today. So
Mm,
there's Sham, there's Jason, and there's a future one that may be coming lah. But at the end of the day, please keep in mind, right, that whoever serve you, right, you are served by the entire unbeatable team because whenever we have any questions, we will always ask inside the group chat one. So
yep.
the whole team's here for you lah.
Mm,
And those
okay.
of you, right, that not very sure when you are going to need to reprice or to refinance, right? I actually just put yourself inside the sign up list, and I think we will be able to talk more because
Mm,
we want you to be ahead of time rather than behind time. You need to give the bank 2 months notice
so you
before
can
you're
plan
able
for it.
to
Yeah.
move. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things involved lah, like knowing when you want to retire and all that kind of stuff. It's a very interesting process
Mm.
where I help you lah with
Yeah, actually,
everything.
recently
So
we had one. I just talked about it very quickly, right? Is that
yeah.
the lady wanted to retire and she
Mm,
wanted to buy a house.
mm,
So we managed to catch hold of her in time, right? We told her, hey, don't retire first
mm,
because you need to take a loan. And how do you take a
mm,
loan? You need an income. So
correct.
if you want to retire, retire after you take the loan. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is just some of the things that may not be very aware of for most people, but these are the things that can really make or break your property portfolio. And to me,
Mm,
it's hey, if you can save like a few $100 to $1,000 in a month, right? For example, Chloe also went to Eton to optimize her loan as well, right? So all these
absolutely.
money, you save 400 here, 500 here. Actually, in the long term, when you invest it, wow, it's a much bigger number. Okay, going down
Four
the street.
hundred, 500 per month.
Yeah, per month,
Yeah.
so it's like a few thousands a year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a DM here. How much is the consultation? Okay, so there's no fee. Okay, so that's why I wanted to find
Mm,
this list to show you guys. So Ethan and his team very nicely for just the community for Invest with P, right? They are providing
mm,
free consultation. That's why I strongly encourage all of you, if your loan is already close to due like maybe 6 months to go, right?
mm,
Let Ethan take a look, right? It's a free look. If there's something to be done, he will tell you that how to optimize. But if there's
mm.
nothing to be done, right? I also appreciate his candor and honesty, that he will always tell my clients, hey, actually, you got the best rate, yeah. No do anything, right? Right? But seldom
Yeah.
lah. A lot of times is really there are little things that you can tweak here and there, especially for those of you who are thinking of building a much bigger property portfolio, like 2 properties or even a few more like industrial or commercial. There's a lot to be done. Okay? All right, great.
Absolutely.
Okay,
And
guys.
on
Yeah.
that, Pete, that one very important because when you're doing multi-property strategies, you actually
Mm.
need to be able to plan your portfolio around
Yeah, like buy which
your
one first and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah, the
totally.
the strategy and sequencing.
Yeah, yeah.
Very,
We
very
are
important.
helping one case right now. The
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
buy
yeah,
so many.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Super important. Okay. So guys, any more
Mm,
questions for Ethan? Okay, if not later on, if you have questions, okay, Ethan will be
mm,
here listening throughout the whole process. So you can post your question in the chat as well.
mm.
But if it's for Ethan, just highlight it's for Ethan. Otherwise, it's a bit hard for him to see also. Okay. So if not, thank you, Ethan, for sharing his expert opinion on the interest rate. So it seems like the interest rate is definitely going to be coming down, and Singapore is not going to stay behind as well, right?
Mm.
But with all this interest rate coming down, one important thing is this, guys. There was another news that was quite subtle recently. I don't know if you all heard about it. Okay, right? So I just want to share this with you guys, and if you have not, this might change your view about certain companies. Okay, so let me share my screen right now. Okay, all right. So there's another big news other than Jerome Powell and Donald Trump. Okay, so they are not the only important people in the world right now. Okay, so once again, we talk about the market previously was at nice support. So I talk about accumulation. So this is something that I already mentioned to the stock market genius community back on Monday already, right? So I hope that you all take action. The important thing and the main reason why I set up the stock market genius community, right, is to not tell people that we are damn smart. Because the whole idea of a genius actually came from one saying. They say the genius it was a military saying. They say the genius in the battlefield is the person that stays calm when everyone is panicking. Okay, the genius in the battlefield is the person that stays calm when everyone is panicking. So before election, I can tell you, I have so many questions about, oh yeah, who's going to win election? How will this impact the market? Yada, 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 yada. But one thing I always tell myself, look at the chart and ask yourself, what do you see here? Okay, so guys, can you type in the chat? What do you see here? Okay, what do you see here? This was the chart before election, no? Right? And the SMG guy saw this and I said, why do you need to think too hard? Right? This is a clear support at the 50 EMA. Right? So I say, nice support here. I'll be adding more. But at the same time, I say this. It doesn't mean that it's the lowest point. But frankly, once again, like just now happened to Coinbase. If it jumps up and then come down again, what do you think I'll do? Accumulate more, buy more. Okay? But there was another big news is that there were new stocks joining the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Do you all know that? Do you know there were two new stocks that joined the Dow Jones Industrial Average? So most people will know about these two index, which is S&P 500 and Nasdaq, which is QQQ, lah, right? But do you know that there's another thing called Dow Jones? Okay, right? So if you know Dow Jones, it's actually only 30 companies, and they go by some earnings, but mainly it is about how big the share price is. Okay, and the new entrance is Nvidia and Sherwin-Williams. Okay, so Nvidia will replace what is that? Intel, and Sherwin-Williams will replace Dow company. Okay, right? So these are the new entrants. Now, when this happen, now guys, when new stock enter index, what do you think is going to happen to the share price? Up or down? Type in the chat. What do you think? Right, outright. Everybody say outright. Okay. So let's see. I'll give you an example. Super microcomputer. Okay. This stock was added to the S&P 500 in March. And ever since then, the share price has fallen about 76%. Whoa. So if you buy based on that notion, that if it's added to an index, it will go up, right? You will be heavily penalized. Okay? So guys, this is about being a stock market genius. When everybody says that, oh, add to an index is surefire thing, you must challenge that notion and ask yourself, is it true? And if you do just a little bit of research, right, you will know why. Okay? Right? So another one, Walgreens. This was added to the S&P 500 back in 2022. And ever since then, today, in 2024, it has gone down 78%. Oh my goodness. This is like about as certain as it can get already. Right? So there are always bad examples. But the question is, hey, is it all that bad? No, not really. Okay? Not all the stocks are that bad. In fact, most of the components in each index, right, do pretty well. Why? Because in the long term, what happened to the stock market, everybody? Long-term stock market go where? Go up, right? That's why the component tends to do well. In fact, the component will usually switch out the lousy businesses. But not all the lousy businesses will be taken out. For example, SMCI is still there, Walgreens is still there. Okay? So ultimately, guys, remember, what matters the most in the long term? Short term is all TA, don't get me wrong. Okay, short term is all TA, supply and demand, whatever not. Long term is always fundamentals. That's why you must do fundamental analysis. And that is the other half of the stock market genius. In one half of stock market genius, we do a lot of TA, right? We will look at the trend, like just now, we look at Coinbase, we look at news, we try to do trades. But on the other half of stock market genius, I want all of you, right, whether you join the community or not, to also think about, if I want to do long-term investment, I must look at the fundamental analysis. Okay? Can everybody make a commitment to yourself? Type in FA. The next time when you want to buy a business, please do fundamental analysis. Okay? And I want to use the example to share with you how easy it is to do. Okay, don't be lazy, because if you're lazy, then you lose money. But if you're lazy, never mind, you look at what we talk about in Stock Market Genius. I think you will be hardworking later on. Okay? So let me show you the company that I want to talk about, which is Sherwin-Williams. Okay. CC is asking, what is Stock Market Genius? Okay, so Stock Market Genius is a online investment community I set up. Okay, later I share more. I talk about this one first. Okay, so so Sherwin-Williams is the company that just entered the Dow Jones Industrial. It will replace the Dow company, right? And $357 after hours, 370. I don't know now is how much. Let me see. Today, where's Sherwin-Williams? Yeah, 385. Okay, so went out a bit more. Okay, after Donald Trump, I think Donald Trump liked them a lot. Okay, so what is this company? This company does this. Okay. Mao already typed in the answer. Right? What is this? Everybody, you can see what is this, right? This is actually paint. Okay. In fact, their logo is damn cute. The logo says the objective is to coat the world. Is to coat the whole earth. All right. So what about this company that's so special that they get to be added to the Dow Jones Index? Okay. Number one, okay, if you look at the revenue, you can see that the revenue on a year-on-year basis not growing very much single digits only. Very, very like slow growth. Okay, very, very slow growth. But look at another thing. The operating income presents a totally different picture. Do you see that? Can you see there's a big difference? How can the revenue go up by such a small percentage, but the income goes up by so much? What is happening here, everybody? Can you tell me? How is that even possible? How is that even possible? Is there something wrong with what we see here? Or should I call police already? Like, hey, this is a fraud. Expenses go down. No, expenses actually went up. So if you look at expenses, the expenses actually go up. Okay, can you see? Expenses from here jump to here, it actually went up. But the expenses did not go up as much. So a lot of this business is fixed costs. That means, for example, if they produce 100 barrel of paint, right, versus they produce 1 million barrel of paint, the cost is comparable. That means every other barrel of oil paint they produce is not going to cost them a lot more. Okay, so this is a sign of what we call a fixed cost business. That means if they can scale, their profit will go nuts. Okay, and you can see that in the gross margin. Can you see that as they produce more and more, the gross margin increase? Usually in businesses, what happens is as they start to scale, what happens to gross margin? The gross margin will start to drop. But in this case, the other way around because their cost is relatively fixed. Okay, so this is FA. Another thing you can look at is when you look at this company, look at the cash flow, operating cash flow. Wow. Sorry, the line is a bit wobbly. Let me just cancel it. Let me just erase the line. Can you see that the cash flow from 2 billion increased all the way to today about 3 billion? Cash flow. In fact, the cash flow of the company is more than the income. Do you realize it? So what does it mean? That means actually the company, right, when they say they make $2 billion, actually they make 3 billion. Because a lot of the expenses are not real. Some of the expenses are not real here. Okay, so to me is this income not so important. Cash is the most important one. Because income I can manipulate, but cash is a bit harder to manipulate. Okay? All right. And when we look at businesses, I want you all to focus on is also what we call the returns. Not returns of like how much profit they make, but returns on how much investment they put in. So a few common one will be like return on equity, return on capital, return on asset. Can you see return on equity is 60%? Imagine someone tell you, hey, invest 1 million with me, you will get back $650,000 straight up, 65%. Is that a strong business or is that a weak business? Okay, return on capital is 22%, return on asset is 10%. Usually what we expect out of return on asset is single digit, like 7%. Return on capital, if anything above 15 is like damn good already. Return on equity maybe above 20%, but this is 60+%. Okay, but this is not it. The icing on the cake is this. This company is doing a damn boring job, which is what? Hey, you remember now what they do now? I tell you all these like numbers like so good. Can you imagine they are actually a brick and mortar business? They are selling physical item, and they can achieve this kind of percentage. Okay, but more importantly is this. One thing I like about this business over here. Now, this is showing you who are the main shareholder in the board of directors. And usually they go by rank. That means the most senior on top. But in this case, they're very funny. They go by alphabetical order. So A on top, then W below. Okay. So this is not the CEO. Sorry. Okay. The real chairman, executive chairman is John G. Morikis. This guy. He owns, listen carefully, 792,000 shares. 792,000 shares. Guys, you know how much is this? If you multiply by per share value, that means the executive chairman himself has about 300 million of his life worth in the company. 300 million, no. I would dare to say this is maybe 90% of his net worth. Right? So guys, can I ask you, when you are investing in a company, right, you like the chairman to own a lot of shares or don't own shares? What do you want? You want the chairman to own a lot of shares or not own shares? You want a lot. Why? Why do you want a lot? Why do you want a lot? Because humans always act in their own interests. So if they have a lot of skin in the game, they will act in their own interest. But if you're a shareholder, that means that is also to your interest. So I really like this. The second highest guy is this Alan Mysticin guy. I don't know why that surname is so funny. Okay. But he owns like 200,000 over shares. So this is close to 100 million. And this guy is the CFO. So wow, the executive chairman and the CFO collectively own close to 500 million worth of shares. Woo, I feel very safe to be a shareholder. Because yes, I can trust management to screw the shareholders, but I don't think the management will screw themselves. Okay? All right. So that to me it's the same. Whenever I go to Stock Market Genius, I tell you all certain trades that I do, right? I always do it myself also. Because when I tell you all means I'm confident. Then if I do it right, I also make money. You all make money, I also make money. Right? Okay. So this is the last part I want you to talk about is not just understanding the company make money, right? But also go into the valuation. Understand whether is it very overpriced or underpriced. I would say right now, if you look at, for example, PE ratio, price to operating cash flow, EV/EBIT, right? It's not very undervalued. I would say it's like fair value. Okay? Right? Fair value. Then last thing, after you do finish your FA, guys, okay, look at your TA. Right now, back then when I tell the guys in Monday, it was at a 20 moving average, and I say maybe can wait a bit. Okay, maybe can wait a bit. Wow, but I was so wrong. After wait a bit, I go up. But don't worry, this is a stock, right, that will eventually come back on. Right? So what you need to do as an investor is, if you want to invest long term, right, guys, you cannot wait for the share price to come back, right? Then start to do research. Okay? I always talk about it in Stock Market Genius is that you do your research first. You find out what are the 5 to 10 stocks that you will buy like crazy if the share price drop, right? And then you keep it in your back pocket and wait for the price to drop. And when the price drop down to certain support level, then you must have the courage to buy. And where the courage come from? From the quality of your research. Okay? Now, tonight I would say this is still like not the most detailed. It's quite basic. Going through like simple valuation, simple growth. But I hope that it gives you a flavor of what a good company is and why this company, although it's also added to the Dow Jones Index, but I don't think it's going to be like the SMCI type. I think this company, after being added to the Dow Jones, is going to be really, really good for it because it has a very, very solid business. Okay? And this stock is none other than Sherwin-Williams. The ticker symbol, if you want it, is SHW. All right? Okay? So guys, how do you all find today's sharing? Do you all like this stock or not? Do you all like this kind of presentation? Let me know, okay? Do you all enjoy today's session? All right, fantastic. Okay, so just now what I saw was I saw one of you're very cute. You're asking like, hey, got any discount for SMG? Then someone straight away post the referral code. Fantastic. Okay, so you can just go for it. So initially I was looking at it, I was like, hey, maybe I can do a referral code for y'all. So I quickly, just now when Ethan was talking, right, you can see me just looking left and right because I was doing out the referral code. Okay, so I got a discount code for all of you, for those of you who want to join SMG. Okay, so do I have it without? Okay, never mind. So what do we do? Is that firstly we do have live trade that I send out to the community. Okay, right. So you can use it as research. I don't say copy. Please don't copy. Okay. And I also do live streaming. And if I'm not free, I'll just record them as video for you all to see. But most importantly is I will spend time and money to research for stock ideas. In fact, I think recently I wanted to increase the quality of research. So we hire an analyst. Okay, so I let you all know first. SMG next year, I have no choice but to increase the price because there was a bit more expenses. The terminals got more expensive, the subscription got more expensive, the analyst also expensive. Right, the squirrel eat a lot of nuts. Okay, so I'm just kidding. Okay, right. So the analyst I don't need to pay one, although I don't show his face. Okay. So what I want to do for those of you who are already in Stock Market Genius, don't worry, the price increase will not affect you. Okay. But for those of you who want to join, okay, to take advantage of the price increase next year, right now, okay, what you can do is this is the link to Stock Market Genius webpage. Okay, when you sign up, use the code 11 November. So this is the 11/11 promo lah. Okay, the usual price is $4.99. Okay, right? But if you key in this code, you will get I think 100 off if I said it correctly. Okay, so you see I don't even have time to write it out. Okay, so I write it here. Okay, 399. Okay, right? So you can key in this code when you go to Stock Market Genius. Okay, all right. Okay, maybe I just go to the website so you can see. Let's see. Can I bring this down? Okay. Hey, but actually, I will encourage you all use just now Niva's promo code. It's the same because the discount is 20%, right? So it works out to be around $100 also. Okay, okay. If you all know what I'm saying, it's okay. If you don't know, then just use promo code. Okay, okay. So this is the SMG. If you key in just now the the link, right? Rebrandly. Connection loss. Can you all see me?
Yeah, can.
Can right. Okay. So the link just now is rebrand.ly/ what is my promo code? I also forgot already.
11 North.
Wait, I go back here. Stock Genius. Yeah. Okay. Stock Genius, then 11 November. Okay. So, yep. So this is the link. Then when you come in here, click on the first one, you will be able to see the page for checkout. Okay. Please don't forget to insert 11 November. Okay. It's inserted already. Okay, I'm going to delete it first so you all can see how to insert. Okay, so it looks like this. Then you just key in 11 November. All right. And you can see the 100 off come up. Okay. 100. So it's 399. Okay. For those of you who uses just now, I think one of my subscriber Niva's promo code, right? Also can right? Because if you take 20% of 499, it's also about 399. Is it? Let me calculate. 499 times 0.8. Oh yeah, correct. It's 399. It's exactly 399.2, 20 cents more. Okay, so okay. So yeah. So that's the promotion I want to give you. Actually, I haven't thought about doing 11/11, but since you all asked, I'll just do it now. So yes, it's a yearly subscription over here. Okay. Monthly subscription I stopped doing already because I it was too much work. Right. There are a lot of people like, oh, P, the monthly subscription I want to change to yearly, then yearly want to change to monthly. Wow, very troublesome. So I just want to do this. Okay. All right. Okay. So any questions? Ask me now or ask Ethan also. Okay. So yes, so Sherwin Williams, I feel that it's a bit overvalued now. I'll definitely wait a bit before it comes down. Okay. Yeah. Okay, those of you who need the link is here. Okay, rebrand.ly/stockgenius. Then 11 November. Okay, Kim is asking, how do you close a synthetic? Very simple. Whatever is in your brokerage, right? I don't know whether you're using Mumu or Tiger. Just right click the thing and just close the whole thing. Okay, right click and just close the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Huili is asking, explain synthetic. Wow, that's gonna be like a big lesson, man. I have a detailed class talking about synthetic in the course. So if you join the course, you can watch it from there. Okay. Roy, what's your take on property prices next year? I think it's gonna be up. Given the supply drop, interest rate drop, and the banks are going crazy to borrow, right? Last time is Ethan look for bankers one. But now Ethan is the boss, The bankers look for him. So how eager they are to. Okay. All right. Okay. Come. Okay. So let's talk about synthetic. So many of you wanted to understand more, right? Okay. So I'm using this website called Option Strat to explain, but it's just for illustration. I don't trade from here. Okay. So what is a synthetic? A synthetic is basically two option. Right? What I'm doing here is you can see can see now. Okay. So what I'm doing here is that I am selling a put at a certain price, and I am buying a call option at a certain price. Okay, so the idea of synthetic is very simple. You start from the premise of selling puts. When you sell put, guys, you will collect money, right? You will collect the premium. So for in this case, when I sell put for Microsoft at 400 put, right, I'll collect $8.63. Now, guys, what can you do with this $863? What can you do? What can you do? You can either keep it, or you can buy shares, or you want to be more aggressive, you can use the money to buy a call option. So that's exactly what synthetic is doing. Come from the angle of sell put first, then you buy the call option. Which is why I'm very comfortable buying short-term synthetic. Why? Because ultimately, I want to own the shares. I'm just using the option premium to gain that upside. If the upside happens, great. If not, it goes below. Actually, guys, what is the max loss of a synthetic? Ask yourself. So let's say I sell put at 400. Okay, maybe I do somewhere in the middle. I sell put 425. I buy call 425. The share price come below 425. What's my worst case scenario? Okay, number one, what happened to my buy call? What will happen to the buy call, everybody? Those of you who know what I'm saying. Yeah, worthless. It will disappear. Okay? I will lose it. But did I pay for the buy call in the first place? I didn't. It came from where? It came from a sell put. Right? So your worst case scenario is your sell put money disappear. That's it. Okay, but of course, if it drops, buy a share and it drops not a bit, but it dropped to like that. So your downside is exactly the same as a normal sell put. So the criteria for sell put and synthetic is the same. Please do it on good companies. And please do it on good companies with a share price that are willing to pay. Okay? All right. Okay. So this is synthetic. Now, generally, I want to do synthetic as much as possible, right? That I don't have to pay money to set up the position, right? So usually it will be better if it's like a shorter term. Hey, what's Microsoft share price now? Why is it moving like that? Give me a second. Let me just check Microsoft share price. Okay. So usually you will see that if it's shorter term, I will pay a little bit, like $300 to set up the position. So it's like 3.1. That's your premium. Okay. So you can see the premium here. I'm collecting $10 and I'm paying $13 to buy the call option. So I'm only paying 3, not the full $13. Okay. Now, what's the advantage of synthetic is that you are what we call neutral on volatility. If you can achieve zero, okay, let me just change this. Yeah, okay, like that better. Okay. If you can, if you can achieve net credit, what does net credit mean, everybody? That means, did you pay any money to set up the trade? Yes or no? Guys, do you pay any money to set up the trade? Yes or no? Oh, you are very new to synthetic. I suggest you all go and listen to the class. Okay. Yeah, no, you earn money to set up the trade. So what does it mean? That means even if volatility is high, does it matter to you? Okay, what is volatility high? Volatility high means what? Your sell put premium is super high, right? Sorry, and at the same time, but your buy call premium also super high. So it net cancels out each other. Okay. So Kelvin is saying BC and BP. Okay, not buy put, sell put, not buy put. Sell put. I'm not doing a strangle here. You're talking about strangle, right? I'm not talking about strangle here. I'm talking about a synthetic, different. Okay. Okay. Hoodie has a question for synthetic. If the buy call is already in the profit, if the buy call got profit, do I have to close the buy call and let the sell put run? Okay, so generally how I treat synthetic is this. I don't play with it too much. I just let the stock price run to a certain level that I think is profitable, then I'll just close the position. Okay? I don't do stop loss because to me, at the end of the day, I am happy to own the shares. Right? So for example, when I enter the Coinbase trade, I was happy to own the shares at 210. So I don't need to put stop loss because if it goes below, then I'll just buy the share. Okay, right. So that's the general idea. Do we close both on the same day? Yes, usually I'll close both on the same day. I wouldn't separate them. I treat it as one single position. Okay? So Celine saying we must be prepared to sell put to have a sign, so must have money. Yes. Okay, so if your portfolio is not big enough, then you probably is not suitable for synthetic. But for those of you with a good size portfolio, like a 50K to 100K at least, actually you can do a lot with synthetic. Okay? All right. Okay, so who is asking, how about companies like DHI that is falling? Right. Okay. So guys, this one, I test your investor mindset. I zoom out for you to see. Those of you who learned from me before or you're in Stock Market Genius, can you tell me where is the share price now? Should you be happy or sad that the share price come down? Should you be happy or sad? Okay? Really very sad lah. Because really haven't understand the genius of it yet. The genius is this. DHI is a very lucrative business. It seldom come down to the 200 moving average. In the last 2 years, it came down twice. Now it's the third time. So what do you want to do? It's up to you. We are all seeing the same chart. What do you want to do? Okay. Now, this is not a recommendation, to be very frank. If you don't understand the housing industry, then you won't have the conviction. Okay, so what I would suggest is please go and study more if you want to understand more. But understand that if it's a great business, if it comes down, actually it is an opportunity. It is not a fear. Okay. It is not a fear. It is an opportunity. Okay. Right. Okay. Hui Li say I did it wrong. I opened one sell put and one buy call, split into two order. Doesn't matter. It's still correct. Okay. Doesn't matter that it's two separate order. It's still correct. You just need to add a P&L of your buy call and sell put. Okay. So long you are doing one sell put, one buy call, match one, can. Okay. But just now, like for example, Kelvin is saying one buy put, one buy call. That's different. Totally different strategy. Okay. Okay. So AY asked a great question. How about DTE? Okay, maybe I answer this, then I think the market will open, right? Okay. Then I let you all go and enter your trades. Okay, so I give an example. So let's say we look at Coinbase again. Okay. Because to do synthetic Microsoft like very expensive, right? Okay, so why I usually don't do more than a few months is this. Okay. So you can see if I do 260, so it's quite close this 255, this 260. I still collect $200 here. Can you see that? Okay. But you see what happens if I select June next year. Wow. I lose money, right? I need to pay $282. So if you go down the chain, right, what you will realize is that in the long term, synthetic will be harder and harder to enter with a net credit or even a net neutral position. Why? Because in the long term, call options are always more expensive than put option. Okay? And why is that the case? Hey, why not the same, man? I'm just betting up and down 50-50. Why is one more expensive? Very simple. Because in the long term, the market goes where? Everybody. Long-term market goes where? Go up. Exactly. Okay? Long-term market goes up. So call option more expensive. All right? Okay? Celine asked what website is this? This is optionstrat.com. No need to subscribe. It's free to use. But it's just good to like have a visualization on your option strategy. Okay, but don't go crazy. Don't go like, enter like super multi-legged strategy, then you get confused and know what to do. Okay. Okay. Which broker I use? I use IBK, Interactive Broker. I use Mumu as well. Mumu is a very good platform. Right now, Mumu got very good offer for those of you who are traders. You go to my website, not website, my Telegram, you can take a Mumu link. Those of you who trade a lot, if you trade more than 100 option a month type, right, you should use Mumu. Because your first 100 option, if you trade more than 100, your first 100, right, is free. Interesting, Okay. DTE, usually I'll do about 1 to 2 months DTE. So like now November, right, I'll do about maybe January, max Feb. I still pay a bit. You see, I still pay $47. Acceptable. Okay. Okay. Right? But I won't do like June. I need to pay $200 to set up, right? Okay? Then is not the best price that I can go for, yeah. Okay, any other thing? Okay, JC is asking a more advanced question. Is synthetic long negative delta? Um, no, it's neutral. Data is time, so time neutral, You know why or not? Because I am selling one and buying one. So when one is losing time value, the other one technically is gaining time value. Because if I sell put, I gain time value as time passes. The time value become my money. So then that neutral. That's why I really like this position. It's neutral everything. It's neutral time, neutral volatility, right? The only thing that's not neutral is direction. Okay? It needs to go up to make money. All right, cool. Yeah, Calvin, this is a new strategy, right? Powerful strategy. This strategy is one of my favorite, and I talk about it a lot in the stock market genius. So whenever there's a good opportunity, I'll just say, hey, don't think too much, already. Okay, don't think too much, already. Okay. Let's see. Well, Hui got a lot of questions. If I close buy call and sell put at the same day, will it lose money? No lah. If you make money already, you make money. What are you talking about? So just now, for example, you look at the where is it? Wait, give me a second, give me a second. Just now, remember we talked about the Coinbase trade? Ah, so I go back to the Coinbase trade. The Coinbase trade, if I close today, I close both together, then I will make 18K. Okay, so let me share the screen here. Okay, so if I close this position, so in fact, IBKR put it together. If I click on it, it will spread into two. Right? So if I close this position, it will be 18K. Huh? So don't worry, even if it appears as two separate trades, it's okay. It is still correct. They just never group it together because maybe you entered it separately. Oh, okay. Adam is asking, does the Mubu 6.8% promo is still on? I think it's no longer on. It's until 31st October. You can check again. I can't remember when is it. Okay. Let's see. Hey, if you want to open Mumu, do me a favor. Go to my Telegram chat and use my Mumu link. I'm playing a game with the Mumu guys. I bet them that I can get 50 subscribers this month. So do me a favor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Right. Let's see. Any more other questions? Kim asked a great question. Kim always asks a very good question. Can I hold synthetic until expiry? Oh, scary, right? Okay, guys, let me ask you. If I hold until expiry, I hold until expiry. Okay, so see. If I hold until expiry, what's the only thing that shift? Can you see it? What's the only thing that shift as I change the expiration date? What's the thing that changed? Yes, the break even. Okay, so ask yourself. From let's say in the middle, that means I hold for half the duration. Okay, wait, maybe not June. We do January. Okay, I hold half the duration. The break even is 256. Can you see? 256. So remember that in mind. 256. Versus I hold it to one third is 257. And I hold it all the way is 258. So guys, let me ask you. Actually, synthetic, if you're confident the market will go, right? You want to hold halfway through, then close? Or you want to hold until all the way? Given that the break-even price shift by $2. You know why or not? You understand or not? You understand or not? If you hold half, you are giving the stock only half the time to move. If you hold the full duration, you are giving the stock the full duration to move. Now, which one got a higher chance to hit the price that you want it to go? Think about it. But of course, if it's like Coinbase within a short period of time, jump a lot, then you want to close, I don't blame you. Right? But if it's slowly going up, actually what I like to do is that I like to set it up and I like to hold it for as long as I can. Until it hit like a good return, then I close. If not, I have held synthetic to the expiry date before. Yeah. Actually quite often. All right. I like to hold it to expiry. Then the system will just exercise the call option for you and give you the difference. Just make money, straight away. Okay. So Serene is asking what's the longest expiry date? Usually I do until like what you told you, 3 months or 3 to 4 months. That's about it. Okay? Great. Hey, wow, a lot of questions already. 10:30 already. I need to go to the market and do something already. Okay, let's look at the market together before we go, okay? Hey, look at Coinbase, go up or not? Or go down? Go up Shucks. Should I close? You see, this is a good dilemma. You know why? I don't have to say close or open. If you did what I told you earlier on, you enter one time and then you enter another time, then what to do here? Guys, those of you in SMG, tell me, what will Pete do? What will Pete do? Let's say I did 5 contracts. What would I do? Here. Sell away everything. Sell away everything. Come. Hey, Hui Tak, what will I do? Hui Tak is here. Come, Hui Tak, what will I do? Sell call. Slap you, sell call. What do you do? Sell a bit lah. Sell one, sell two, right? If you feel uncomfortable holding the position, take some profit. That's why it's always good to hold multiple options. It gives you options. Okay? Pun fully intended. Right? I don't like it when people tell me, hey Pete, I only buy one call option. Help, help. How to do? What to do? If you only buy one call option, you are setting yourself up for failure. Why? Because you are only giving yourself one chance to succeed. And I always tell you already, even Pete, who is like investing for so long, I always tell myself, whenever I buy something, right, I'm wrong on timing. I'm correct on the stock, I'm correct on the trend, but maybe the timing I'm a bit off. So I buy here, was I off? Yes. Eventually it come back down again. Great. Buy one more, buy a few more. Understand? Okay? Good, All right. So that's what I want you all to do, Okay? Any live trade tip, no? Okay, I cannot give, They're very dangerous. Okay, let's see, Let's see what the market is doing. Okay, so market is actually very docile, 0.18, 0.6. Not much, Yeah, not much movement. Yeah. For those of you in SMG, you know that we sold a lot of puts. So those puts should be doing very, very well. Okay. Let it decay. When it decays sufficiently already, usually I would say, if you're not greedy, those puts that you just want to gain premium on, decay until 80% already, I just buy it back. I make money already, just buy it back. Okay? All right. Okay. So without further ado, any questions? Y'all can, those of you in SMG, post it in the SMG community. All right. Otherwise, I hope you all really enjoyed this session. Once again, please join me to thank Ethan for joining us to give us a very detailed breakdown on interest rate as well. Type in CCC. Okay. Love to engage all of you. And for those of you who wants to join SMG, once again, do take advantage of our promotion, the $100 off, or you can use Niva's code. Niva, pull your code again if you want. I'll give you the chance to post your code again. Because I need to go and find my code. Where's my code? Where's mine? Yeah. I very lazy. Wait. Sorry. I'm so lazy. That's why I hired an analyst so that I don't need to do work. Okay. So this is the full link. You click on this straight away, the promo code is in already, I think. Okay. If not, yes, the promo code, thanks Alicia, thanks He, is 11 November. Okay. Otherwise, the other one that you should really put in is actually Ethan's one. Okay. That is rebrandly.ly/unbeatable loans. Let me just copy this for you guys. Okay. In fact, the direct link is wait, where is it? Rebrand. Oh my gosh. I always tell people, they say, hey Pete, like what so many links. That's why I want to put all them in Rebrandly so that y'all can see. Okay? So this is for mortgage. All right. And okay, so this will be the master one. This is for SMG. Okay, these two. Mortgage and SMG. Okay? All right, great. Guys, if you have a question about the mortgage as well, right? Just fill in the form. Let Ethan's team know. They will be very happy to help you. And Ethan, thanks for offering the service to the community. We have a lot of people who benefited, and I hope you all take all these savings, invest in the stock market. Going forward, the stock market is likely to be choppy, but don't worry, right? I'm always here to guide you guys. And just remember, the stock market in the long term does well, right? So if you are in it for the long term, you can make good amount of money, right? But if you want to take advantage of the fluctuation, right, the market can serve you really well as well. Okay, so that's all we have for this session. Everyone, thank you so much. All right, 10:30 already. You have any trades, just go in and put already. Okay, all right, and I'll see you guys next one. Bye bye.